This podcast is brought to you by Elite Level Status Wines. My wine journey started with drinking cheap grocery store wines that were really acidic and gave me headaches. Then I switched to quote-unquote luxury, but overpriced, full-bodied wines that were really heavy and had a bad aftertaste. The inability to find the perfect wine led to the creation of Elite Level Status Wines. Elite Level Status Wines are approachable, medium-bodied wines with great flavor and minimal aftertaste. And with me being a health-conscious person, I wanted to create a wine that was lower in sugar and lower in calories than the full-bodied mass-produced wines that we always see. We currently have two wines. First is our Cabernet. It has notes of blackberry, cinnamon, plum, nutmeg, and French vanilla. Then we also have our Rosé wine. Our Rosé is going to be a flat, dry, pink Rosé with subtle strawberry and raspberry flavors. Both wines are medium-bodied wines with less sugar and less calories, and they're both available on my website, elsfinewine.com. Check them out, and I hope you love it. Thanks for clicking the link and checking out the Elite Level Status podcast. Since you're here, I have a special offer just for you. It's 15% off either of my wines. So click the link below and check them out, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Elite Level Status podcast, we're back again. Remember, you can catch us on Apple, YouTube, and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Today, we got a special guest. She's an entrepreneur and dentist. Her name is Dr. Lulu Tang. She's in studio. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. This is going to be an interesting one for me because I have not done this type of podcasting before.
Well, great. I'm glad you came in. I think it's going to be amazing. So let's just jump right into it. You have accomplished a whole lot in a short amount of time. But first, I want to start with your background.
Yeah.
So give us your background. Where and how did you grow up?
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm still, I got more goals to get done, but I do appreciate, the accolades and everything that I've achieved so far. My background, I'm from Portland, Oregon. I am 33 years old. So we were born in a different country. I was born in a refugee camp because we're a product of war in the country of Cambodia.
Oh, wow.
So missionaries had brought us up to Portland, and it was a single mom of 4 kids. I was the youngest, and we really just my mom was always working. We really never had her around. So a lot of people like to ask, why don't you speak any Asian languages? And traditionally, you would be taken care of by your grandparent or family members. But most of our friends when we were younger were either Hispanic or the Black community. So we didn't really have anyone to speak Asian languages to. And that's really all I really remember growing up is that my mom was always working and trying to put food on the table. We really struggled through financially, getting through life. We didn't have much growing up. So I had very humble beginnings, and, that really was the foundation for me of wanting to drive my success today.
Wow. Interesting. And I know your family has to be incredibly proud of what you've already accomplished so far.
Thanks.
What made you want to pursue dentistry?
I knew I wanted to be a dentist since I was 16 years old.
Really?
Yes. And I don't know if you have a lot of Asian friends, but
I have a couple.
Okay,
I got a
so
couple, yeah.
There is a stereotype that Asians need jobs with status, right? Either doctors, number one, lawyer, engineer. That's always the thing. A very typical immigrant dream coming to America for the American dream, which is to get one of those jobs.
Right.
Study hard, get a good job. And I was the youngest 4, so I could see all of my siblings not be able to have those opportunities that I did to achieve that. School stuck with me. I felt like I was good in school. I was good in academics. I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
And when I had the opportunity to get braces and go through my own oral health transformation, I just felt so much more confident in myself. When I was younger, I was smiling with, I wasn't smiling. I was covering my mouth up when I was talking. And I just didn't want to laugh out loud because I didn't feel good about myself.
Right.
When you come from low income family, you don't really go to the doctor unless you're in pain, right? So it was not one of those aspects in our life that we were very consistent with. So for me, when I got that oral health transformation, it wasn't about straightening teeth and going to orthodontics. It was about the education, how important your teeth are to someone's confidence, to someone's lifestyle. And that's the feeling that I get to give to other people. And so coming from 16 years old, that was a 10-year plan. And I love that I get to do what I love now. And so I work at it every day, and people are like, you work so much, but I'm just blessed that I'm very passionate about oral health and dentistry.
I love that. I love that. So that kind of leads into my next question. I was going to ask you, what aspects of your journey have been the most fulfilling? And it seems like it's more so about helping people feel better about their smile and in turn helping them feel better about themselves. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Like the education part is so important because a lot of times when you come from a background that I did, you don't get that access to education of why it's important, right? Like who tells you to brush and floss? You just get told that, but you don't really know why, right? And so you end up becoming an adult and like, man, I need to see a dentist and you got all these problems. And so it really goes back to that relationship that I build with patients. To me, especially in Las Vegas, coming here as a graduate in 2019 and really being able to build a community and being a staple, I feel that, I'm pretty well known in not only the dental community, but the community in Las Vegas. Like when I get to go out, I see people, I run into people, and I've been told the difference I've been able to make for them. And not only like their perception of dentistry, but being able to feel good about themselves. And it's not just fixing teeth, but it's changing lives.
I mean, I love that. And I feel like the sign of a good business is when you solve a problem and you help people. You're definitely doing that.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, I definitely love that. So speaking of a business, can you kind of talk about some of your business ventures you have right now?
Absolutely. So I built Sahara Modern Dentistry. I am selling my practice, my equity in that this year. It's been 5 years, so it's been crazy that I've been able to take this office from empty parking lot, empty rooms, and like nothing, and build it up to where it's at right now and take a step back. And, I'm really looking forward to seeing what other cities hold for me. I talk about the only other city that I think could compete with Las Vegas is Miami.
Yeah.
Of course, I love LA, Houston, Atlanta, looking into those ventures of like maybe Teeth by Lulu will pop up in your city. And then we are working with a lab building up the grills and luxury aesthetics company for if people want gold on the tier diamonds, and just allowing that aspect in dentistry to also be accessible for that common person.
Okay. Love that. Love that. And credit to you. Like, I feel like you've done a great job of blending your business and your personal brand, especially on social media. When I started following you and I can see what you've been posting, like I'm invested because you do a great job of showing the buildup, right?
Yeah.
And how this happens over a long period of time. So definitely congratulations to you. And then with your grills business, that's something that you're still going to be carrying forward, right?
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm part of the board of advisors for consulting. So again, if you're a dentist or you're, or even a patient, ask your dentist to contact us.
Okay.
We can get them set up. But just speaking in terms of like the Instagram and social media, I got on the platform to inspire other people who come from my background to also pursue higher education. I think when I started, I didn't get a lot of examples of, what that looks like. It was always, baddies, the looks.
Yep.
That was the popular thing back in the day.
Yeah.
And so I knew that, for me, academics was so important, or pursuing higher education, or just, pursuing a career. But sometimes it can be overwhelming when you come from a background where it's like you have to do all these steps. You don't have anyone in your family to teach you. So that's the whole reason I got on the platform in the first place.
Yeah.
And so now it's really evolved to allow patients to see and get that oral health education out, and again, be accessible to everyone.
Yeah. I mean, listen, in my personal opinion, I think you're a leader and a role model for all the women. I mean, every parent, if they have a daughter, should be pointing at you and be like, hey, be like this. Like, I feel like you have a factor of prestige and aspiration that everybody can respect, right?
Absolutely.
And you are right. A lot of people on Instagram that are famous, it's kind of like, well, what do they do?
Yeah.
With you, it's clear that you got educated. You started a business. Now you're at a point where you want to sell a business and start another business.
Yeah.
I mean, this is amazing. So I definitely would encourage you just to keep building what you're doing. Because I feel like it's rare. I don't see a lot of people, men or women, like doing what you're doing. So that's why I definitely respect it. And that's why I'm glad you came in here.
Yeah, for sure. I think like, especially if we're going to be talking about dating and things like that, I know that I'm going to be speaking to like the younger girls, right? The people who maybe like the older people or older women, they're already established. They already have their own habits and ways. I think the most important person I speak to every time I'm on social media or doing anything is like the youngest girl, making a change and making her see herself in me in some capacity so that way she can be inspired to do something as well.
Right. And listen, you're a great communicator too. You're definitely can articulate your words well, and that just helps more people want to follow you, right? Because you can get your message up across.
Thank you. Okay,
so speaking about dating,
that's why we're here, right?
That's a perfect transition. Elite Level Status Podcast. Okay. Now we have a lot of questions here. First one, what are just your overall thoughts on the modern dating market?
I just want to put a caveat on there. Like, I am not a dating expert. So again, like, these are my perspectives, but hopefully, it can help inspire somebody. Because the problem I find with modern dating is social media.
Okay, explain.
Right? I find that people are going to social media to get their perspectives and then influencing them. It's like, you can't even think for yourself. It's like, that's wrong, that's right. You can't even date on your own because you have so many people talking about it. And I think it's just so transactional because it's always like tit for tat. Like, people are trying to do equal exchanges, and then they go online. It's like, oh yeah, he don't give a shit about you because he's doing X, Y, and Z. But really, like, they don't have that context, right? And so I think there's just so much outside influence that you can't have your own individual like experience with one person.
Very well said. I think that people struggle, like you said, to create their own thought process.
Yes.
Why do you believe this? Do you believe it because you thought this true or you saw it on social media?
Yes, exactly.
I definitely
Sprinkle.
Yep.
Do you know about her?
Yeah. Okay, so you have a quote. People need to be more worried about being unsuccessful than unmarried. Can you explain that for us?
Yes. Okay. So you should be more worried about being unsuccessful than be unmarried. And I really speak to just being able to hold your own, becoming your own individual before you get into a relationship.
Why is that important?
For me, maybe it's a form of protection. I shared how my mom was a single mom of 4, right? And I observed firsthand how difficult that life is. And it almost seemed unfair. She was doing all this by herself. And for me, it's that I don't want to put myself in that position. I want to make sure that, I have a career that if I ever were to become a single parent, that it wouldn't be as difficult as it was for my mom. And so I like to put some context to it because I'm sure as a guy, like, you hear a girl say that and it's like, oh, she's just bad bitch, boss bitch energy. She don't need no man. And that's not what I'm saying. So the context to it is like being able to become your own individual and, being able to be supportive to the man. So that way, like, eventually that we can build a life together. We always talk about what are you bringing to the table, right? Like, we want to build this table together. We want to build the chairs. We want whatever. And then eventually maybe I can be a stay-at-home mom where if things hit the fan, I know that I ain't new to this. I know how to hustle, that I can step up if I need to. That's the partnership, right?
What is super interesting to me about your answer is to hear you mention about supporting a man and building together. Whereas, yes, men ask, what do you bring to the table? A woman like you bringing that up is interesting because we can clearly see everything that you're bringing to the table, from your businesses to how you carry yourself, everything, right? A lot of women, I feel like, are saying, I deserve this and that, and it's not clear to the guy what they bring to the table, right?
Got it.
So it's like the level of humbleness that was in that answer. Is that a word? Humbleness?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
know what I'm trying to say.
I always stay humble no matter what, like in any capacity. I think like there's always room to grow. And it's like, I'm okay with like 50-50 proportionate to like the significant other's income. But I think you talked about like, oh, I have a job. It's clear like what you bring because like, but then again, at the same time, a man has that. They have a job. They have like,
No, but your mindset is very different from other women that I know. Because yes, that is true. I think men would look at a woman like you and intrinsically know I better step up. I better produce because she doesn't need me at all. Whereas other women, where it's like, we're looking at, okay, well, do you have a job? Do you have a sugar daddy that's taking care of you? Like, how are you even getting by? And then now you're telling me that may have, whatever I have, but you're demanding all this stuff from me. Well, what am I get for providing you everything that you asked for?
Mm.
And so I just feel like your mindset, the mindset should be like flipped.
Mm.
Like that's kind of what I feel would be appropriate. But it's interesting for me to hear you talk like that, because I feel like for you, like, do you in your dating history, have you had issues with men being chivalrous, like bringing flowers, opening doors? Do you find that that's an issue?
Well, I think so. Me and my friends, right? Like they have their father figure in their group where they've learned that as the standard.
Okay.
For me, like that was never a standard. I didn't have a father in my life. I had brothers that took care of me.
Okay.
And so it doesn't bother me if someone doesn't open the door.
Wow. Wow, the answer you're giving, I am like shocked. I'm like, wow, okay. But I understand where you're coming from though.
But I do love a gentleman, right? Like that will open doors. It's not something I'll have to like stay outside until the door is open. I think there's the capacity. Like we're on a date, like love that. Pull out the chair, pull in the chair, like open the doors and, pick me up or whatever that is. But I think it really depends. And like, I don't like to knock on anybody who wants that.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with somebody else about Uber. It's like, they wanted me to pay for the Uber to come. And it's like, why can't you pay for your own Uber? Yeah. And I said, well, in my friend group, they can pay for their own Uber. Right. It's just the principle of like, hey, like you asked me on a date.
Right.
You take care of their transportation or you send the limo, whatever that is. Right. And then I have some friends who do have that standard because that was how they were raised, right? As the man opening the door. So like, I don't knock that as being the standard for some women.
Well, listen, going back to staying outside, my mom used to do that to me when I was growing up as a kid. If I didn't open the door for my mom, she would stay outside and fold her arms and stare at me like, you're going to come out here and open this door. And that's why it's a habit for me, right? Yeah. So it just depends on your upbringing. But yeah.
Shout out to your mom.
Oh, yeah. And she'll wait. She will not come inside. Yeah. But I get it now. Like she was trying to like, at some point when you're older, you're going to be out here dating. This is how you treat a woman. And that was her way to teach me, right?
That's awesome.
Okay, so what do you say to women that may feel pressure to get married and that feel that they're behind because they're not married? What would you say to them?
I mean, I'm not married yet. So, I mean, something I say to myself is that the goal is to be a person, character, morals, life, career, all of that, to be a person that attracts a life partner, because the goal is to find a life partner. Marriage is the product of that. And that is my belief. So for me is that, are you happy with where your life is at now? And especially if you are focused on your success and your own aspects of, what fulfills you as an individual person, then you would be ready to attract that next person. So I just, again, going back to that quote, being more worried about being unsuccessful than being unmarried, because you will get some fulfillment through other things and then find your person. And I truly believe that. So, I do dislike the societal pressures of getting married and, you get in friend groups at this age, everyone's getting married, right? So I think it's just being able to hold your own and knowing that like your time will come and hopefully you don't feel pressure to get married, because then you can end up in sticky situations. Yeah. And I love what you're saying. I think it's very important to build a life that you love single, because you limit the risk of a relationship and you always have something to go back to. Yeah. So that way, if you get in a relationship, it's a net positive. Yes. A lot of people get into relationships and they're afraid to be alone again. And because it's backward, they jump into a relationship before they built themselves up first, right? Yeah. And so the last thing you want to do is be stuck and relying on other people for, your housing or your money or whatever. Because then it can be weaponized against you. Exactly. And that's what you don't want. 100%. Like, having your own career or income, it allows you discernment. So, like, let's say you're in a relationship and a girl is in a relationship with a man she was financially dependent on, but he was being disrespectful or cheating or whatever, there is more pressure for her to stay. Like if she had a career, I'm sure there would be more confidence in leaving that situation. So there's more discernment there too.
Yeah. Totally agree. Do you believe your professional success makes dating easier or harder for you?
I think this goes back to the question of like, are you looking for someone as successful as you, or does it have to be on the same level or higher? And I was thinking about this. And I'm like, well, I've dated executive level. I've dated blue collar workers. For me, it's all about ambition.
Okay.
And ambition is not normal. I was talking to my friend about this. Like for me, I'm busy every day. I'm working every single day and I'm doing something. And so let's again talk about success/finances, right? If I'm with a guy who is making more income than me, but not working as much, I know in my head I'm working more right now physically because he's already done what he has to do to make the income he needs to take care of us eventually, right? Until we're married, like then we can bring money home for being a stay-at-home mom, whatever. But if I'm working every day and you are not making as much money as me, then there's a reason. There's that discrepancy. I'm making more because I'm physically working more. I'm doing something, right? And so that's where the resentment comes in, where the relationship doesn't work. For me, I'm out about town. Nobody really knows I'm a dentist because I don't carry myself in that way. I don't carry myself like I'm better than you or whatever it may be. I'm just feeling like a regular person, like a girl in town. Like I feel like in the dating world, like I'm just feeling like a regular girl with a job, right? I'm not coming to this as like I'm a doctor, a boss, and whatever. But it really depends on their ambition level. And so because ambition is not normal, that's what it makes it harder to date. Like the dating pool is smaller.
Yeah. I think that's a great answer. And I can definitely see if you're putting in the work, and then you come home to someone that's less ambitious and making less. I mean, who wouldn't be a little resentful?
Yeah. I guess I don't know if the roles change. Like for you as the woman, like if they're not doing as much and they're not making as much, does that matter to you? I think for me as like a woman versus to man, like that matters.
It's different from a man's point of view because men are expected to lead and provide. And most men, well, I'm going to speak for myself. We relish that. We want to do that. So I'm not necessarily looking for my woman to be out here fighting traffic and going to an office every day and working, right?
Yeah.
I'm grinding. I have multiple businesses. I'm doing what I need to do so that when I meet my woman, she can do what she wants. You want to work, then you can work. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you can do whatever. You want to start a Pilates studio or something. Well, whatever you want to do, we're good because I'm here and you can count on me, right? So it's a little different mindset, but that's because a man's job is to provide.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And just like you said, like where you're like, oh, somebody would meet you and be like, oh, I need to step up to the plate. I think whoever you date as a man, like they should make you want to be a millionaire to, take care of your girl. So, and if you're not moving that way, then that's where it becomes problematic.
I love that. And that sounds amazing. That hasn't been the experience that I've seen, but no, I agree. Yeah. Ideally your woman is supportive and inspiring. But if she's not, then that shouldn't get you off of the path that you're on as a man. You should want to be the best version of yourself.
Yes.
So some guys, prefer to, play video games or whatever. And I'm not knocking that, but I think that most men that at least I'm around or who I try to be like, it's like, no, we're trying to make an impact and make a difference. And I want women to look at me and be like, okay, the life you're building, I want to be a part of that.
Yes.
And that's the ultimate goal,
I think it's also difficult because everyone's level of success is different, right?
True.
And so, again, like I'm saying, ambition is not normal. And my version of success is like always do more.
Yeah.
Retire my mom. My life is good. My whole family life need to be good as well. Yep. Like I'm not going to be the only one driving a nice car.
Exactly.
But there are some of like in my friend circle that if they just have that 9-to-5 job, 2 weeks PTO, that's their level of success. And again, that's no knocking that. And we have full understanding of like, this is my vision of like, I'm always going to keep going.
Right. I love that. What do you think men most misunderstand about a woman like you?
I think they think that I'm coming into this like, you need to do X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the third, and you need to buy me all these gifts. And the nice thing is that I get it myself if I want something nice, I have the capacity that I can get it myself. And really what I'm looking for is the way you treat me, right? To me, I feel very blessed that you can't throw money in my face.
Yeah.
It's not going to change how I think about you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that's a little corny. Like, you know, what else can you do as a man in providing for like my emotional side, the support side? Are you also helping me with my businesses? Like, can we really partner and collaborate on different things? I think that's important.
Yeah. Well, listen, I am thoroughly surprised by your answers today. The level of humbleness. Because I didn't think you would answer like that, but I do. I love to hear it because you're giving all men hope for like humanity right now with the way you're answering. Like this is amazing. Okay. What does a man need to show for you to take him seriously?
Communication, I know, is always like something that's being said.
Communication, okay.
But consistent, right? You know, I think a good example is like, hey, I can't make it because this happened. And I'm getting a full explanation versus ghosting. Yeah. Of like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or just tell me, like, I'm the type of person, even my professional world, my personal world, I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Whatever's going on. You want to know exactly where I stand with you. And so, like, I just don't believe in ghosting. Somebody who is like plans dates or who is consistent with it in person. Like, I don't want a pen pal, right? We can chit chat or whatever, but let's meet in person. I think that's important. And like, I hate saying this, but like, you know, I feel that I'm a lover girl. So it's like, well, like, show me you like me, you know? Actions speak louder than words. And for me, another buzzword is that emotional availability. Like everyone's saying that, but what does that mean? And to me, it's that if I am concerned, if I'm upset about a situation, then you have the capacity to take feedback and listen to me, and not like reject it or dismiss me, or even like feel like, okay, let's talk about it versus, all right, you go cope with it over there and you come back when you feel better. You know, that's something that I feel like if you can't talk through a situation or emotion with me, then we're never going to get along. Yeah.
I love that. What about, and this reminds me, what about exclusivity? I had a post where I asked, in an effort to be honest, if a guy told you that he's seeing multiple women and you commented, they can have you, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I was not expecting to be on the podcast.
Oh, okay. So exclusivity is important to you as well.
Yes, I think you were like, what's one thing you would eliminate? And that's the roster. Yeah. Like, please, like, I'm going to get canceled, but can we get rid of the roster?
No.
Like,
okay.
To me, I know I get told, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but I want to figure out if this person is right for me. And I'm going to like, within the week or two, if they're not giving me the same energy, then I know, right? Like, hey, all right, then I'm going to talk to the next person. I don't know. That. I just, exclusivity is very important.
Okay. Love that. Okay. So now I want to talk about DMs.
Okay.
DMs are, everyone is just one DM away.
Right.
And
shoot your shot.
A lot of men, shoot your shot. I can't imagine some of the DMs that you get. So I'm just wondering, would you mind sharing some of your DMs with us on the podcast?
Okay. We're going to go through it. Okay. And then why don't we do this? I'll read you the DM and then you're going to rate it like 1 to 10. Like as a guy, like, okay, he did good there. He did not good there. Okay. And then I'll tell you my feedback. Okay.
I love it.
But I would say these are all the DMs that I did not respond to. Or like, to me, is like the only way I'm going to respond to a DM is like if I met you in person or I knew you through mutually or we have something in common. Like, I just think.
What if you haven't met him, but you've got like 10 mutual followers? Does that count?
I would go through all those mutual followers and ask him, like, what's up with this? Is this your dude? Like, what's up with your boy? Okay. Like, that's what I would do. But I think that would be like, I don't know. I'm a very like also shy person. I'm very old school. Like I want to meet you in person. Okay. That's why I can't do dating apps. And so like the DMs for me is already an extended thing. But I've already had to meet you in person for a DM to even work. Okay. So there was one funny one. I was doing, I did a selfie in the gym And somebody was like, dang, you came like so fine in there. Even that kettlebell wants to pick you.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Hold on. Wait. So like you posted a story or something and he was responding to your story?
Yes.
Okay.
So what do you think about that one? I laughed. I laughed.
I think anytime he can make you laugh, I think that's a win.
Okay. I agree. Laughing is important
Yeah.
for sure. But
And he used the context of what you were doing. It's not a copy and paste message.
I will say that was creative. 10 for creativity because like, you're right. But I didn't respond.
Okay, but a shout out to that guy though, because that's good. He paid attention. He crafted a message solely, specifically to you.
Yes,
and he made you laugh. So I mean, that's all you can ask for.
Honestly, like I would say, laughing like that's something that is a good introduction, a good first impression. That's what we were talking about. Is like if you can make me laugh and like come at me like you want to get to know me versus like come at me like you want to date me. Like, oh, you hella fine.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
I mean, yeah. That
very dry. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you actually want to get to know me as a person versus like going straight to like, I want to date you.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. For all the men watching, please take notes.
I got a DM. I'm so in love with you. Crying emoji.
No. That can't be highly rated by you. No. Okay.
I'm just going through these options. Okay. No.
Okay. On a scale, what's the scale? 1 to 10? That's a 1 for me. She's already like she can't even get it out.
I'm laughing because it's like it's ridiculous. You know you find my God.
No, that's the one. He's doing literally what you just said. Don't do. That's not. I want to get to know you. That's listen. I'm trying to like go from A to Z in one DM. That's not going to work.
Be mine. Sad face.
No, sad face. No.
Tear face.
That's it. Just.
Be mine. Respond to the story.
No, I don't agree with this, guys.
There's also ones like, oh, I want to ask a dental question.
Stop, because you know that's
I already know. Like, no.
Yeah.
You're very.
He's trying to think about it, but like, yeah, that's not going to work. You can see right through that.
Yeah. Why don't you have a ring on your finger? You're so beautiful. Don't piss me off.
Yeah, you did more harm than good there. Well, that guy was well-intentioned, just the wrong execution.
Sure. Okay, take it. Look, I told myself 1,000 times not to do it, but shoot or shoot. You have to be the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. Crying emoji.
I'll give that like a 4, but that can be copy and pasted to hundreds of chicks though. Like that's not solely crafted to you.
It was feeling like he was trying to be genuine, but again, like I've never met you before, and it's just objectively coming off as creepy.
Yeah. How much credit are you going to these guys' profiles and looking like, are you verified? What's your job? Are you trying to like do any of that, or are you just purely looking at the message?
I can't. No. Okay. I have to meet you. Okay. And again, sometimes they're DMing me because we have mutuals. It's like, okay, at that point, then you should have asked your mutuals to do the link.
Do some, okay. But hold on, wait, how would that work? So like you want the guy to reach out to a mutual and be like, hey, let's all go and do something.
Like a friendly thing. I'm all about like, let's do a friendly, nonchalant.
But then he'd have to tell his mutual, hey, I'm into your friend over here. And that's the middle woman, it's gonna get that takes a very selfless woman to set that up. I feel like most guys will never do that.
That's interesting because my friend circle, I feel like we're very like.
Yeah, but like, they're your friends though.
Yeah.
Imagine a man coming in. Let's put you in this spot.
Okay.
Let's imagine random guy that's maybe a friend saying, hey, your friend is beautiful. I want to get to know her. Can you arrange an event so all of us can come out so that I can talk to your friend? Would you set that up?
I've had that before because I do have beautiful friends. Okay. And so I text her like let's go to their restaurant or whatever. Okay. So, I mean, it's never been in the actual like out the group chat, but I've done that before of like, hey, this guy's interested in you. Why not? And then she can then be like, no, girl, da da da. I'm like, it's if I call you a friend and I'm like, yo, this other friend wants to talk to you. Like, if I call you a friend, I feel like that's already a good level of entry.
I feel like that's amazing karma, and that's going to come back around to you, and you're going to get everything that you want because that's amazing.
Someone has said, I'm goated. Take care of yourself, though.
Okay, 1.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
so that guy said I'm so he's basically saying I'm the greatest guy of all time.
Oh no, I'm goated. You're goated.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're good.
sorry,
Okay.
you're goated.
Okay. The first one was by far the best one so far.
But like I wish someone who was like, damn, that's crazy. And I was like, I only want to respond because I want to know your pickup line.
So he only said, damn, that's crazy.
And I was
okay,
like,
I like this one. Okay,
I was like, I didn't respond because I was like, you ain't gonna get a response because I know this is a trap, but I only want to respond because I want to know what that pickup line is. You know what I'm saying?
9.5. That's good. Because wait, what's crazy? Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Well, it reminds me
outside the box.
It reminds me of who's that guy who got in trouble by that influencer girl because he broke her leg or something? That football player.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's a lie. And she's like, what's a lie? He's like, you're not 6'1". And then that's how it all started.
That's how it all started.
So that's what it reminded me. I was like, no, I'm not trying to break no legs.
But the lesson there is even Tyreek Hill can't just be like, hey, you're bad, you're thick. Even Tyreek Hill has to create outside a pro athlete worth $100 million.
Yep.
Can't just come in there and be like, hey, I'm Tyreek Hill.
Exactly.
Come hang out.
Exactly.
That won't work. Okay. That was very educational. I appreciate you. Very educated. Every guy watching this deserves a thank you. That is access you will never get. That you will never ever get that access. Probably in your life. A lot of men, you will never have a woman read you live what other men are saying. Now you just got to.
You need to just start asking the girls that come because I'm sure like
this should be a segment on every show. Yeah, for sure. For sure, I love this, and I'll give you your credit. Maybe I could name it after you. Maybe this segment I'll be like, hey, this segment is sponsored by
Dr. DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. DMs.
Exactly. Okay, love that. Okay, a couple more questions here. Are there any physical traits that you would prioritize in a potential partner? Height, look, how they dress. What are certain traits that are your non-negotiables?
My friend had asked me, like, what is your type? I'm like, they got a job?
Wow. Wow.
But like
you were giving so much hope to all men out there with these answers.
I've dated, pretty much like all races.
Okay.
Except Asian, I guess.
You haven't dated Asian.
I'm just thinking about that right now. But I've dated all races. I'm a long-term relationship girly, so I have like not had a lot of dates. But I feel
that's good.
Yeah. So I feel like tall.
Mm-hmm. How tall? Over 6 feet?
Yeah. Okay. So, I feel like I don't have really any traits except like
be 6 foot and have a job.
No, that's not me.
Oh.
But I've dated short people, shorter. I'm 5'2". You can't really go short, like for me.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't really have a height requirement. Okay. But yeah, I do want them to have their own career and be able to take care of themselves.
Okay. Be aspirational.
Yes. And that's, to me, that's more important than anything. And have a personality. Okay. Because a lot of guys will come with money and like have no personality. Okay. And, like you see that with a lot of celebrities too.
Have you experienced that where a guy is super successful, maybe executive or a pro athlete or something that you've dated and you're like, this isn't everything that it's cracked up to be?
I wouldn't say like dated, but I've been around those people just in terms of like hanging out and chilling and kicking it, but never like seriously, but like this is an intentional date.
Yeah.
And I've seen that where they can't hold a conversation.
Wow.
Yeah. So, because they haven't been through, like if they've been in money all their life, everything's been handed to them.
Yeah.
So they never really had to do any struggles of like, for me, I've been in sales. So you talk about I'm good with my words. I'm a good speaker, whatever. I'd done retail for like 7 years. Okay. Became a dental assistant. So because I had to get out of the mud, like I've been through different jobs and had to work with different people.
Yeah. Okay. How does a man show what he can offer to a woman like you without coming off as narcissistic or cocky?
I saw that question. I was like, man, that's interesting. Again, I go back to actions speak louder than words. Okay. For me, I look for also generosity and not generosity towards me. I want to see how you treat your friends, your family, how you're talking about them. Because I'm the type of person that I go out to dinner and I want to take care of my friends. Like I'll take care of the bill, especially if people are coming in town, things like that. Like I want to cover.
Yeah.
And so I would like to see that in a guy as well.
Yeah.
You know, I had dated a guy and I was like, oh, I needed to get her a birthday present, but I'm busy today. Can you go find something?
Yeah.
And he finds a Judith Lieber passport for my best friend. I'm like, that's perfect,
Yeah.
literally perfect. But that was a $600 gift.
Yeah.
And so to me, that spoke to the generosity he's willing to have for my people, and that I'm going to reciprocate for his people too.
Right.
So it's not just like, are you spending your money on me, but are you willing to, not just money, but your time, your energy,
you're a generous good
how are you
person.
talking to people, how are you talking about people? Are you able to talk to the janitor the same way you're talking to, you know, this high-level executive? And all of those things matter to me.
Yeah.
And I would say like those things matter to me in the workplace as well. Like, so I'm very, in terms of like how I am in one area is how I am in other areas too.
For sure. For sure. I love that. Okay. Last question. If you could change one thing about modern dating, what would it be?
We had mentioned it. I wanted to remove the roster.
Okay.
You tell me, like, what are your thoughts about the roster?
Okay, listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think that, and this is gonna sound bad, but I think that women should not have a roster, even though it's hard not to, because women are being approached.
Okay.
Women can just be minding her business and a guy initiates the interaction, whether it be a DM or you're out at Whole Foods or whatever, and a guy comes up to you, right? As a guy, I want to be at least able to tell myself I'm the only man that she's talking to. But I want to say that I got to be worth being the only guy that's talking to. That's why I feel like aspirational men work so hard, because I can expect you to not entertain other men, and then I myself, I'm not your best option. So that's why I think that men who think like me, we're trying to be successful, rich, funny, smart, strong, tall, everything, so that you can look at me and when, you know, Drake DMs you or whatever, like, okay, I know you're Drake. I like the guy I got though.
Okay, that's interesting you say that, because I think that I'm trying to like, to me is that I feel that I'm always usually dating a guy with a roster, and I can tell because I'm a good detective.
Well, and you probably, but I would say men with rosters talk to women. Like you're not going to talk to a guy without a roster, because he's not going to get the chance to go on a date with you.
Yes,
that guy works at McDonald's or what, and no shout out or no shade to McDonald's, but that guy will never be in your presence long enough to actually get a date with you.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I've dated and then I end up finding out, oh, you're talking to other people. That's why I made that comment. I was like, oh yeah, she can have you. I ain't worried. But I would say it's like in just both ends. So like the same way you're like, I want to feel like I'm the only guy that she's talking to. I feel like I want to be the only girl that the guy is talking to as well.
And if you thought any other way, I wouldn't even want that. So as a woman, yeah, I want you to think that way.
Yeah.
I want you to be like, no, don't talk to other girls. Only talk to me. I love that. I don't want you to be like, okay with like talking to all these other girls, right?
Yeah.
But I think for men, I think that for men, you have to have a roster to find the one that you actually do love, because you're not going to get as many cracks as a woman. Women can just go out there, or I'll put it like this. Rarely in my life have I been out minding my business and a woman comes up to me like, Will, you are just so amazing. Can I get your number? Right?
Let's manifest for you.
Right. So like that's why I think as men, you have to initiate, you have to try to create a roster to give yourself enough chances to figure out, okay, I don't like this girl. I thought I did. She's hot, but I don't like this girl. I actually want this one over here because, you know, she's nurturing and caring. She'd be a good mother of my kids, unlike you.
Okay.
And there's no way to get that without experience, right?
Okay.
And so that just, again, my personal opinion.
Okay.
But that's why I think it's more acceptable for a guy to have a roster as he's trying to find his main girl that ultimately he wants to marry and have a family with, as opposed to a woman, because you can't avoid it. Like men, if you're attractive, men are coming.
Okay.
And the only way they're not is if you stay at home, but then they're going to DM you. And so I don't see how you can avoid it.
Yeah, but then like you talking about guys don't have a choice but to have a roster is like, but if we find out, then it's like, you're done. I would say most girls.
Most girls.
Okay.
Most girls. There are women. If you're, in my opinion, if you're successful enough and your girl is into you enough, you can get pretty far and she knows what you're doing.
Okay.
Well-intentioned women. There are some women that are just with you for, whatever reason. They don't care that you're cheating. um, I know for a fact that there are women that are okay with you talking to other women. Again, not ideal.
Okay.
But yeah, I have
You have a true
seen that.
statement there.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Now, I would say to women that, you just same with me. If I found out that my hypothetical girl here was talking to another guy,
Mm-hmm.
I'd ask myself, okay, what am I not providing that guy is?
Mm.
And I try to change it, right? I wouldn't just be like, don't talk to him. I'm not big into forcing people to do or like making people do stuff.
Yes.
I want volunteers, not hostages, right? So
I hope so.
so it's like,
Is
okay.
the door locked?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, no.
So it's like, okay, if you're entertaining other men, why? And like, what am I not providing? And I need to change that, right?
Okay.
But I think that a woman may say no, like if you call me your girlfriend, you're not allowed to talk to other men. And she's justified in saying that. But there are men, like you can say whatever you want. The real key is, are you going to hold him accountable? So like, if you say that and like, hey, we're done, and he texts you 2 weeks from now, are you going to text him back? I feel like if a woman is into you, she's going to text you back and you're going to come right back, right?
Okay.
So it's a lot of words.
So much context to it. Again, don't listen to us. It's not black and white.
This is just a conversation between two people. Yeah. Yeah. What do we know?
Yes, exactly.
But no, great question. Is there anything else about dating that you'd want to get out there before we get out of here? Any other thoughts?
Honestly, I feel like we covered it.
We did.
We did. We had a lot of banter, a lot of back and forth. It was a great kiki.
I appreciate the DMs segment. That was an amazing idea by you. So I definitely love that. I think we educated a lot of people today. Helped a lot of people out. Before we get out of here, can you drop your social media handle? How can people reach out to you if they're interested in working with you in any capacity? Your girls' company, anything like that. How do people get involved?
Absolutely. I do a lot of lifestyle content as well. So I talk about being a doctor in and out of the practice. So again, I'm all for social media brand partnerships. You can find me at dr.lulutang, so dr.lulutang. And that's TikTok and Instagram.
And I'll make sure I have it tagged when I post this. Super great interview. You're amazing. Listen, if I could have gone into a lab and created the perfect podcast guest, I would have created you because we can talk business, we can talk relationships. It was great. So I appreciate you coming in.
Of course. Got you.
And yeah, this is going to be a fire interview. And that's all for now. I'm Will Scott, your host, Elite Level Status Podcast. And we'll see you guys next time.